So what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the best buys from this vendor reset, and also I'll mention some good ones that you should pick up based on if you're a new or returning player. So let's dive right into it. So we're going to start at the clan vendor. Now the clan vendor, definitely you can go to the one in New York City or DC. It's really up to you. So the first piece, the Caesar's Guard, a named chess piece from Empress International. Now if you look at this, it has skill tier, almost maxed out skill damage, and then you can re-roll that headshot damage for skill haste or status effects. It comes with perfectly skilled, and what that does is skill kills have a 30% chance to reset skill cooldowns. Now I personally would probably put skill haste or status effects on there and then just max out that skill damage, and you have yourself a god roll chess piece. Now the Hunter's Fury, I really wouldn't use this because you can get a lot more damage from running a gold chess piece with a different talent. But if you guys did want this, the weapon damage isn't bad, and then you can re-roll that status effects. The same thing with the Rigger chess piece. I wouldn't run the Rigger chess piece because you can get more damage running a gold chess piece. But if you did want this, it already has a skill tier, and then you can max out the repair skills for skill damage. Now I would pick this one up right here because this is god rolled at 15% weapon damage and exactly what you're looking for, a negotiator's piece. And then what you would do is switch out that skill haste for crit chance or crit damage. Hopefully you could do crit damage because in that way you can stack crit chance on other pieces and just have maxed out crit damage and crit chance. Now they do have a G36 enhanced. Rolls are okay. Assault rifle health damage, stability, I will swap that out for damage targets out of cover, and it has measured. I just feel like there's other better weapons than the G36 in this game. Now they do have an FAL, which is actually one of my favorite ARs. It's a little bit slower firing, but it hits really hard, has really decent roll. Assault rifle has a really nice health damage roll, and you can max out, you will not max out, you can switch out that magazine size for damage to targets out of cover, and it has sadist. So if you have some type of bleed build, or you can use the bleed hive, kind of could work hand in hand, or depending on what type of build you're running, this could work really well with you. So just depends on your build and if you guys want to roll it that way. Now there is a custom PF45 pistol. If you guys like pistols, looking for pistols, has close and personal on their pistol, critical damage, you can re-roll the critical hit damage. Now there's a card 45, same thing, has fast hands, pistol damage, stability. There's a 511 armor health, armor regen, glass cannon. Wouldn't pick this up. Now if you guys are trying to build an intimidate Hunter's Fury build and you need the Sokolov chess piece, this is a good starter piece because most likely you will have enough crit chance without having crit chance on all your builds. This one has weapon damage, crit damage, status effects, and then you could re-roll brace for intimidate, and you have yourself a good starter Sokolov chess piece. So for all of you new returning players looking to build a Hunter's Fury crit chance, crit damage build, well, here you guys go. Don't even have to farm for it. Now there is a Wyvernware backpack. I wouldn't pick this up. Just the rolls are all over the place and the talent doesn't match up with this backpack. They do have an 8.9 skill duration mod. They have a 5% critical hit chance. Max is 6%. So this is a good one if you guys don't have the maxed out one and you don't have anything higher than 5%. And then there's another pulse for 9% radius. So some pretty good pickups just from the clan vendor. Now we're gonna head right upstairs. So now you do have to be at the Haven. This is in New York City, and it's gonna be the vendor right here. So Marco is actually going to have nothing too impressive, but I will tell you he does have a gold D50 that you guys can use if you guys are doing the Liberty quest. So on that quest, you do need to have a D50. A lot of you guys were asking me, where could you guys pick this up? Well, you could farm for it, or you could buy it this week, and then when you're doing the Liberty quest, when you need to use it, you could just use one right here and then turn it in. So that's what I would do. They also do have Providence knee pads with weapon damage, crit chance. You could put crit damage in the armor region. It'd be decent until you get better pieces. They do have a Grupo Sombra holster with weapon damage, crit chance. You could roll critical hit damage for that hazard protection. Another decent piece right there. Main thing I would pick up from here is if you're doing that Liberty exotic quest, the D50. Now we're gonna check out one more vendor that has some okay items. Nothing that's, I would say, a must buy, but let's stop here because we're already here, right? So if you head over here, keep going, you have Roy, right? And Roy is going to actually have a CTAR with assault rifle damage, health damage. You can change that rate of fire, and it has close and personal. So not a bad weapon if you guys want to try it out. I actually used to use this a lot. They did tweak it back a little bit back in the day, but still a pretty solid weapon if you guys were looking for that. Now everything else here, I didn't see anything else, but They did have this Providence mask with weapon damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. So it depends on what your build you're trying to do. You can swap out that critical hit chance for crit damage. You can max out the weapon damage. You can max out the crit chance. You can max out. You can do a lot of different things, and then you can optimize this piece. So not a bad piece to pick up if you guys have been looking for a Providence piece with these rolls or close to these rolls right here. And then there is a 10.3% skill haste mod. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna head to DC. We're gonna head to the White House, and there's gonna be one item there, and then we can head to the DZ because there's a few items we want to pick up. So right here at the White House, the first vendor is the only vendor we're gonna check because all the other vendors are the same. They do have a burnout, which is the FAMAS, which has assault rifle health damage, headshot damage. I will switch that out for damage to targets out of cover. And then it has perfectly empty. Reloading from empty grants 40% weapon handling. So a lot of you guys who are struggling to control the FAMAS, well, this will be a good starter FAMAS for you. And I think you would actually enjoy it. Still has all the same damage. It just won't have the instinct talent or whatever talent you typically run on it. But yeah, if you guys have been looking for a FAMAS to use, well, here you guys go. Pretty decent until you guys can get another one. Now, I'm going to keep going down. I think this is another one I could call out. It's a military P416. It has maxed out assault rifle. Now, you could use this assault rifle damage for your recalibration library. That's a good way to do that. Also, this is actually a pretty solid piece to keep if you're looking for a survival build AR, because if you look at it, it has assault rifle health damage, headshot damage. I would put damage to targets out of cover, and then I would keep preservation. Killing enemy repairs 10% of your armor over 5 seconds. If you get a headshot, it kills improve your repair for an additional 20%. 10%, sorry. So that's 20% extra armor over 5 seconds, which if you have a pretty solid armor build, that's a chunk of armor you can get back. So if you've been looking for a secondary AR to run, this military P416 is actually a really good one. And I actually use preservation on a few of my builds, depending on what kind of build I'm trying to make. We keep going down. They do have another Sokolov. If you're looking for a Sokolov backpack and you're trying to build a Hunter's Fury, this might actually be a good one too, because remember, if you grab that Sokolov chest piece and then you grab this one, look what it has. It has SMG damage, crit damage for a 2-piece, but then it has weapon damage, crit chance, skill haste, and opportunistic. What I would do is I would swap out opportunistic for either Bloodsucker, or you could even run Adrenaline Rush, and then you pair that up with the other Sokolov piece you have, and you're getting a lot of damage there. Now, the one bad thing is it doesn't have critical hit damage, so you're missing out on a little bit of critical hit damage, but that's just a good starter piece for you guys to really pick up. And they have a 7.4% headshot damage mod. That's pretty much it from the vendors from the White House on both sides, right? And then if you head over to the campus is going to have one item. So if you head over to the vendor at the campus, you slide right in. She has the mask, the Night Watcher, a great mask to have. Look, if you notice it has armor, has the scanner pulse haste, 100% scanner pulse haste, which is maxed out always, and then it has headshot damage. So depending on what type of build you're trying to make, this could be a great piece because it gives you that 5% for the total armor for one piece. It gives you the armor, which you could max out. You could max it all the way out. You could have that scanner pulse haste, and then you could have that headshot damage. Now, if you want to keep the armor and obviously keep the scanner pulse, you can swap out the headshot for a lot of things and just max out that armor. There's a lot of different ways you could run this, but I'd recommend if you don't have one with these rolls, pick it up and put it in your stash. They do have a Walker Harris mask on here, and the only reason I would get this is for that 10% status effects to put into your recalibration library, and that 100% is the only reason I would pick this one up right here. So that would be another buy. Now the next piece is going to be the DZ, so let's head there. So right here at DZ South, there is a one item you guys want to pick up this week, and it is the Dark Winter. If you guys don't have a Dark Winter, you haven't got it from the name caches from the season, you haven't got it from the league's name caches, well, this is another chance for you guys to get it. Has decent SMG, decent critical hit chance, and then you can put damage to targets out of cover, and then it has perfect killer. Killing enemy with a critical hit grants 50% critical damage for 10 seconds. Now remember, you do need DZ resources. Now to get this, you could do it a lot of different ways. You can go into DZ, you can deconstruct the items, it'll give you those resources, then you just got to extract those resources. Or what you could do is run around, there's little boxes in the DZ that you could collect and get resources that way too. So ideally, just hit a landmark, deconstruct everything, extract it until you get 152, then you come back here, get this, and there you guys go. Remember, you can't get the Dark Winter from those named caches just from doing the season, so that is another way. And that is the final item from this vendor reset. If there was any item I missed that you thought, hey, you know what, I saw this when I was looking through the vendors, this is actually a pretty decent item, I would recommend it. Hey, let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one, but until then, hey, nothing but skills out. Take it easy, everybody.